It's sort of a miracle. There we go. Where are we?
So for right now, while we get started, we're going to ask everyone except Laura to mute themselves. So we give Laura a chance and so forth. There's going to be lots of opportunity later on to ask questions and so forth, but just for, to be expedient about this, go ahead and mute yourselves.
Hit that.
We're going to say hi for anybody who doesn't know us. This is Fontel, and I'm Carrie. And you're going to see Laura in a minute. Just wanted to go over a few things. You're going to get a number of emails from us prior to you coming out. But we thought we'd talk about a few things now, like the hotel. So when you get to the hotel and check in, all of your names are on each of your rooms, but just in case you say a name and they go, what? Give them the name of your roommate. Your names are all listed, but you never know. So just give them the other name as well. If you have any problems, to call, and we'll put our cell phone numbers in our last emails to you. The hotel grounds is lovely. You're on an inlet of water, and there are lots of places to walk to. And again, in the email just prior to you coming, we'll have some suggestions for dinner that night when you come in. There's a restaurant in the hotel, which is quite nice, but there's a couple places close by that you can walk to. And we will list those and mention them so that you know what you can do. I'm sorry, Fonta, I'm hogging all of this, but we are not having a cocktail party on Tuesday evening. Some people are just getting in late, and the hotel just did not provide what we wanted for that. There's a really cool bar in there, so go to the bar, but we will be toasting at our first dinner on Wednesday evening. So
and more than likely you will see Carrie and I there during that evening as well. So we'll be in the bar, and you can certainly come down and say hi and so forth, but we'll be there. So
we're also going to send out menus to you, so to pre-order, because of our group, the size of our group. That if they take orders at the table at that moment, we'll be there all night. It just adds to the length of the evening, and nobody likes to sit there forever waiting. And so we sort of opted into doing that. So when we send this out to you, we need you to respond with what you'd like to eat. Otherwise, we're going to pick for you.
You don't want that.
No. Ride sharing. I only have a few names of people who sent in and said that they wanted to try to link up with someone at the airport to ride share. So if that's something that you would like to do and you want to send a name, then as we get, again, the week prior to you coming out, which is getting close, I'll send a list of times that people are coming in that perhaps you can share with. Got my cheat sheet here. Y'all know we're getting on the bus on Friday to go to the port, so that's all taken care of. I think that's what I have.
I think that's a good beginning. So
does anybody have any questions regarding any of that?
I do.
Okay.
Are you assigning us roommates at the hotel, or are you talking about people who are coming with two?
I'm talking about people who are coming with two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you signed up as a single in a room, then you are still a single.
you're single.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, this is for people coming with roommates and even husbands, because when they sent back the master itinerary, for me, for every room, they listed one name. Sometimes it was a man's name, the husband. But there was one name, and that's the only reason I say if you go in to check in,
right.
And it's a lovely small hotel, not tiny, but smaller hotel. But if you check in and you give them their name and they just go, give them your roommate's name. But y'all have rooms.
Excuse me, need reservations at any of these restaurants that we may go to on your list?
I don't think so, because it's in the middle of the week.
Right.
But I will provide you, some of these places, and you can
Your dinners are
lunch.
taken care of. So if you were asking about a reservation for lunch, it's really not necessary in,
Well, you mean,
in the restaurants
he's
that are
meaning
around.
Tuesday evening when they
Ah,
get in. Yeah,
okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Down on the
Okay.
waterfront, hi, this is Colleen. Down on the waterfront, there won't be any problems getting reservations.
no,
Or you don't, I mean, just walking in. I'm sorry, not, you could make reservations, but it's easy to walk in.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, midweek is not going to be an issue.
All right.
All right.
Gary?
So
Carrie, any idea what time we're gonna get to the port on Friday? Because
We're
they asked us to estimate our time, on our check-in.
I think the check-ins, the earliest check-in is noon to 12:30. That's where they're at right now. So I think people are just starting to get their emails for checking in on the ship. We just got ours today. So they're just starting to come in. So I know that we can't get on before noon. Our bus is going to be there before noon.
Because I have an 11:30 check-in.
you don't.
Yes.
Boy, do you have an in.
Boy, you rate.
Woo!
We
No, I
don't.
stayed up till midnight the night you could check in.
There you go.
Oh,
Well, I
There you
would
go.
think the
Yeah.
bus will probably be there so
Yeah.
that you can use your expedited
because
check-in.
the bus is coming at
The bus is
10:30,
gonna pick us
10,
up at 10
10:30.
o'clock.
10 o'clock.
At 10
Oh,
o'clock.
And
okay,
it's
that'll
an hour.
be great.
It's an
Yeah.
hour. So we're all good.
Thank you.
All right, and we will talk about more of this after Laura's presentation. Mara will be joining us for just a little bit.
Yeah.
So those logistic kinds of things, if
Yeah.
they don't really have something to do with the pre-cruise, just hold off and we'll do that. So I think we need to
Yeah.
introduce you to our guest of honor and your teacher for the pre-cruise. So here is Laura. Hi, Laura. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us from Canada.
Yep,
You
yep.
know,
And
thank
our weather is lovely here as well, much better
Good.
than the Florida heat that we left. So anyway, I'm madly knitting away because this whole concept for the class is just in my mind.
Can't make it work.
Someone needs to mute.
I guess so.
Thank you. I think that was it. Okay, sorry.
We don't have to be there till 6.
No, there's somebody else who needs to mute. All right. Can you all hear me? Yes, okay, good. At any rate, so as I've been developing these classes and this whole program, it's a very new concept. And those of you who know me know that, that's the state of my life. It's always something new. And I'm having the best old time designing things for this. I'm going to give you a little temptation in a moment or two here. But here I am up in Canada at our cottage, and I am knitting like a fiend to finish up all of these projects. So what we're going to do, you don't have to pre-order anything for our classes. I will be providing all of the yarn for swatching. And then there will be a tremendous amount of yarn for you to make selections if you want to pursue a project based on what your swatching was. As I wind down, I think this is not coming as any surprise to all of you. I'm not wholeheartedly, I don't go to shows anymore. I'm not advertising. As I wind down on Prism, what has happened is that I found a lot of yarns in my inventory that are great yarns, that are great yarns, but I don't have enough of any one yarn to like make models and try to pursue it. So instead, I've come up with a way of using lots of different yarns that's actually really interesting, and it can be limited to 2, it could be 3, it could be 8 or 10, or what I'm working on right now is 15. And so what you need to bring is a selection of needles. I think the smallest needle that I was using was a 5 or a 6, a 7 or an 8, a 9 or a 10, an 11, maybe 4 sizes. The usual knitting supplies, scissors, maybe some stitch markers. You do need a tape measure because we're going to do a little bit of customizing. And I'm going to suggest that you wear a tank, a camisole, a tighter fitting tee, something that you can comfortably try on things over the top of, because that's the best way to know if it's the right size for you or if we need to adjust it. And one of the things we're going to be doing on the second day is real customized work for you based on what you're interested in and how we make it be just exactly right for you. So, so those things, and then I'm going to suggest that you bring 12 to 15 little Ziploc baggies. Now, if you don't think there's any chance that you're going to wind up knitting on one of these things in the week that you're on the cruise, then you don't need the baggies. But if you decide that you just have to start on that right now, you're going to want some Ziplocs. And because one of the things that we're going to talk about is yarn management. I've learned all kinds of things about managing all these different yarns. And I've developed lots of slick little tricks for how you do manage it. And so there's one of the things that you'll be getting is a booklet with, I don't know if it's 8 or 10 or 12 patterns at this point, that are all very specific to the models that I have, but you're going to have this entire room full of yarn that you can select for these models. It's not limited to what I did it out of. And that's the fun thing about this. So we're going to be talking about color. We're going to be talking about texture and ways that you can, surprising ways that you can use color and texture, simple pattern stitches. So no matter what your skill level is, you know, this is in this approach, we're really letting the yarn and the color speak. It's not about knitting fancy pattern stitches because you don't need them. They are not going to show up anyway. So here's just a little clue for some of the things I'm working on. And I'm not going to really show you what the shapes are, but you can kind of see. This is a big, well, here I'm saying that, but this is a big poncho-y sort of a thing. And you can see all those beautiful different textures that are in there. And this is very light and drapey because it's supposed to be very light and drapey. There is this. It's a little, wait, if I get a little further away, maybe the color looks a little more accurate. And that's a little,
peeks.
what?
These are big, long, good sneak peeks.
Yeah. Lots of interesting texture in there. And the fun thing about this whole program, and I will say this, is that every single skein of yarn that I'm bringing for this is 200 yards. Every skein of yarn is 200 yards. Now think about that for a minute. That means if you want equal amounts of yarn, all you're doing is counting how many skeins you need, right? If you want to put two yarns together and hold them together, you just need equal numbers of skeins. Every single skein of yarn is 200 yards. And it makes deciding on how much yarn you need really simple. So that's kind of the gist of this. And I mean, look at the drape on some of these, just fantastic. So easy shapes, easy to fit shapes because they're mostly boxy and you can see from the drape purposefully so. And I think that you're going to have a lot of fun with it, as have I. So, and that's about all I have to say. But if there are any questions, ask away.
I will tell everybody that we're in a beautiful classroom in this hotel. We have a classroom that's part of a ballroom, and one whole wall is glass, which looks out onto part of the water in the pier. So we have natural light in there. So it's going to be a lovely, lovely, you have really good light to see all of Laura's beautiful dyed colors. Seriously. This is going to be, we feel it's going to be nice.
I will add, I will say that one of the reasons this is very special is not only is there not necessarily more of any given yarn, but I've just been playing in the dye room. So there will be colors. I've just been making beautiful palettes. So there are colors there that I don't have a recipe for. I just kept dyeing it until I liked it.
Oh,
And so it's not necessarily that these yarns are going to be orderable again, because there are many of them that are my standard colors, but there's a whole bunch that are going to be just,
Special for this.
they are what they are. And so,
you know, and I will remind you that Carrie and I flew down and spent some time with Laura in her warehouse in the dye house. And we were fortunate enough to fill 4 of our enormous duffels, and they are already here. So as I unzipped the top of it, it was like, oh,
I know it, because we just did that.
these skeins are a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
So,
this is fun.
so some of them are already here ready for you.
So, you know, Laura, I'm going to ask you in front of everybody. I don't think we set a time for our class. So how early do you want to start? Did we
9
set a time?
9 o'clock,
We have 9.
Yeah.
We did set a time. Let's see, it's here.
9 to noon.
Okay. All right.
Laura, for the needles, straight needles, circulars, how long should they be?
For me, a standard 24 to 30-inch circular needle is what I use for everything.
Okay,
But if you like working, I mean, especially for swatching, if you like working, say on short straights, great.
okay,
I don't like working on straight needles. So for me, it's just always that. There is only, I mean, a lot of it depends on whether you want to start on something, to actually start on a project.
mhm,
Then you would be safe with a 30-inch circular.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's enough to go on. Thank you.
I'll include this information of the needles and the tape measure and stuff in the email that comes to you just prior to coming out, so that you have all that info. And we will provide Ziploc baggies, so you don't have to pack them.
Yeah.
We'll have a bunch of them if in fact you need them, so don't worry about that.
And the store is pretty darn close. I'll have lots and lots of needles. So if you forget it or you want to change a needle, you just let me know and we'll find them for you.
And speaking of the store, I should also mention that part of the fun of this is that there will be a complete Prism trunk show at the store. So with us in the teaching room will be all of what I am calling the 200 Club, because it's 200 yards per skein. All of those yarns will be at the hotel, but we have some new Prism models and some things, the things that we previewed in the last Zoom session, we'll have those, and we have some new kits and all of that and the stuffs. Those are all going to be at the store. So on the second day, half of you will spend time with me in the morning while the other half goes to the store. And then after lunch, we're going to flip that. So that allows me to have a little more time with not such a big group. And it allows you to be able to run through the store with abandon.
For those of you who know Laura's good friend Brigitte, she's a real tall, slender lady who knits beautiful Prism things. She will also be with us, both at the hotel and in the store. So we're really happy to have her because she will be so helpful to everybody. For those of you coming to the pre-cruise and then y'all are going on to the cruise, I mean, you just know that this is a particular moment for us because we have both Laura and Barry.
Yes.
And Barry will be at the pre-cruise. You'll see him in the hotel he's staying. And so this is, for us, this is Friends Week for sure. Close
absolutely.
friends, good friends. And I can't wait. So we have a little bit, like 10 minutes or so before we start actually for the cruise. Mara's going to join us. So if any of you have any questions for Laura or the pre-cruise right now, please ask away. Yes, I see a hand.
Yeah, that's me.
Hi,
Hi.
Ronna.
Hi, as far as the weather goes in Seattle or for the pre-cruise, is it going to be a lot different packing for that than there is for packing for the actual cruise?
Yeah, probably, because it's like 80 today, and as we get into August, it might be 85 when you're here, 80. I looked at Ketchikan. I'll tell you, it was like 60, 60 degrees. And so you're definitely, going to want to have layers. Let's see, what is Ketchikan now? So you are definitely going to want layers.
So we're packing for summer and then we're kind of packing for fall, right?
Yes,
Kind of.
yes.
So it's Skagway right now at 60, Ketchikan at 64. I've been there when it's been in the 70s. Barry said he was there one time and it was 90. And I said, really, in Alaska? So we just want sun.
Yeah.
Anything for Laura? Anybody? Because we're going to let her go. It's late for her.
Yes.
Nope.
Montel,
Yes.
Donna Lee. Is there any chance that Patty and I are going to get into her class?
I don't think so, Donna Lee.
Okay, we'll be there just in case.
Yes, I know you will. Exactly. Yeah. You know what, Donna Lee, that second day you can come and hang out with me at the store.
Patty says, oh, that's trouble.
Okay.
All
All right,
right.
Laura, thank you so much for taking time out of your vacation and your time away. I know everybody enjoyed listening and getting those little sneak previews. So, all right, thank you for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Good to see you, Laura. See you
Okay,
soon.
Can't
Where are
wait.
you?
Where am I? Matt and I used to live in Buffalo, New York, and left over from our Buffalo days is an old family cottage that we bought from his parents, which is in Southern Ontario.
That's where we are. We're in Toronto, so that's why I asked you.
Okay, well, we're in Port Colborne.
Okay, got it.
Silver Bay, which is Shirkston Beach, if you know it that well, so.
I can open my window and speak to you.
Kind of could, we can wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right, Laura, thanks. We'll be talking to you.
Wonderful.
Everybody
you all.
stay, come back at 5, go potty, do whatever you need to do. We've got 5 minutes or so. Bye, Laura.
bye-bye.
Mary, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because we lost connection for the little while.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Just know that this has been recorded, so anything you want to listen to again.
Yeah, I'll catch the beginning of it on the recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
we hope, Barb, to have the recording on the website by maybe Friday. So, all
Okay.
right. Hey, Janet, I didn't see you join us. Hi. Those of you that I haven't had a chance to say hi to, just know I'm seeing your smiling faces here, so.
So for those of us who weren't wise enough or don't cruise, are you done with us?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Debbie, no, we're never through with you, but thanks.
Well, I will tell you, I don't do cruises, but I am very jealous of the people that are going cruising, but I will get in enough trouble at the store.
Yes, you will. You will all have a chance to meet. There are a couple on the pre-cruise that Debbie actually lives in the area and she's just a little bit south of me and so forth. So she will be here for the pre-cruise, but as she said, she's not a cruiser. So, but it's going to be really fun, Debbie. Just hold on. It's going to be fun. So,
Okay, well, enjoy. I'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
all right. Bye now.
Bye.
Mary Kay, I can't see you. Actually, we have two Mary Kays. Hi, Mara.
Hi,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
You are. Okay, now I get to see you. All right.
can you hear me?
So
Yes, absolutely can.
You look so cute. Your hair's cute, Mara.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's really cute.
It's, I didn't do a thing to it today, so thank you.
okay, go away.
Mary Kay, you can mute yourself on that one.
Hi, Barry. Hi,
Hey,
Barb.
Mara.
Hi.
Hi,
So
Barry.
excited to see everyone in person soon.
Beth,
30
I can't wait
days.
to see you.
I'm here.
I'm counting the days.
I'm counting the
Hi.
days too.
Hi.
I don't think anybody's more anxious than Cheryl and I to leave Texas. It was
Oh, I know.
108
No, I'm
yesterday
more
and
anxious
about the
to
same
leave the
today.
East Coast and the Canadian smoke.
Ugh.
Oh, that too, yeah.
You're gonna appreciate our 80-degree weather, although it
Yeah.
could be hotter by the time you come, but to me, this is real hot. Like I'm burning up in this room.
It'll still be vacation. Yeah. 85 will
There you
feel
go,
like
exactly, yeah.
it'll feel like winter.
Yeah, we can't really complain.
I
that's
drove
for
into
sure.
Seattle today and coming over the bridge, looking at the Space Needle and looking at the water. It was so beautiful, just pristine, pristine. Yeah.
You're actually coming at a time when I think we are at our very best, so. I think, yeah, the weather should be good and you'll be able to see all the sites. So hopefully you see Mount Rainier and Mount Baker up north. So it really is a gorgeous area, so. All righty, we're just about there, Mara, so.
We sure have a whole lot of people who aren't on here yet, though. So we're gonna wait just a few minutes. Because you know, this is quite a large group.
Yeah.
Not 8 o'clock yet.
It isn't 8 o'clock, all right.
There's so many people on here. Where's the number? I'm
39.
looking at all these faces.
There's 39, but you know, we need to have a lot more than that. So we'll give it a few more minutes.
How many are cruising?
Well,
I believe it's 79
Oh,
I think
at last count. Is that okay that I just said that?
no, it's okay. But it's more than that, I think. With all of us, it's more than that. It's more like 85.
Oh, 85, right. Okay, yeah. Right, right.
Hey, Mary Blossom, I haven't said hi to you. I'm gonna tell a little story on Mary Blossom. I've known Mary for probably 25, 30 years. And those of you that know me and know that I've had the store a long, long time, my mom was an integral part in this store. And she absolutely thought that Mary Blossom walked on water. From the day she met her, she was always a favorite. So, and every time I hear your name, Mary, I think it brings back such fond memories of my mom and the times we had together. So I'm
That's so
so glad.
nice.
I'm so glad you get to come on this and I get to.
Okay,
spend
well,
some
I
time
can't
with you.
wait to hear about your thing. But anyways, I'm getting logged into my meeting thing, so all right. I love you.
Hi, Darcy.
Bye.
We're hearing all of that. All right.
No.
Go.
It started with fast fees and advanced security for $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, us can get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying aid button.
I'm muting you all.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably mute Barry and then I'll be in trouble.
Did you hear
Please
that,
mute
Mary?
me.
You can mute Barry, but don't mute me.
I muted Laura. You know, you just go mute crazy and then you go, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So for the moment, I am muting you. If you see I haven't muted you yet, please mute yourselves. So where are we on here? Here we are. All right.
Okay.
Hi.
We're back.
We're back. To everybody who wasn't on earlier for the pre-cruise, we're saying hi. We are kind of a big lovely group growing on.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Oh, the group is growing, Carrie.
It is growing, so maybe
There you
we wait one more second. So we have a lot of fun people on here who want to talk, and we're going to start with Mira. And I need to go back and find Mira.
Oh,
okay. Mira, let's see. Help me find her on here. There she is. Okay. You all know Mira. Spotlight, because she.
Hi.
Mira.
Hi,
Our
everyone. It's so nice to see some faces that I don't know and wonderful to see the faces that I do know. I can't wait to be with all of you in 30 days. That's when we're going to be getting together. So thanks for making the time to be here and to listen to my little update for all of you. I want to just go over some business first. That's why I'm here. So for those of you that have not done so yet, please register for the cruise. Registration is open, and hopefully many of you have already done it. You just go to celebrity.com and you click on online check-in. Okay, and if you haven't done it, you'll create an account and you'll be all set up, and you'll put in your reservation number and not your travel order number. So if I'm gonna take care of the elephant in the room in case there is one. We had 19 cabins that were unassigned. They didn't have their cabin numbers yet. We've gotten 15 of those 19 assigned with cabin numbers, and we have 5 to go. I promise all of you, you will have cabin numbers before you go. We are not leaving without anyone, okay? So I hope you're all okay with that. And if you have any issues, please feel free to call me tomorrow. So your documents are now all e-documents. There's nothing that's going to be mailed to you from Celebrity or from me. So you don't really need documents anymore. As long as you download the Celebrity app to your smartphone, you'll get your barcode there, and that's all you need to show when you check in, along with your passport. Okay, so once you complete your online check-in, you can print out your luggage tags when they're available to be printed. May not be till a week or 2 before we go. They've been a little late with that, but you don't need them before that anyway. Just want to remind everyone that your passports must be good for at least 6 months from August 26th. That's really, really important. Just double check, just to make me feel better, to make sure that your passports are good for that 6 months. You should bring your vaccine cards. They're not going to ask you for them, but I would feel better if you brought them just in case, because we never know what's going on in this world. Nothing's the same as it used to be, right? So bring your vaccine cards either on your, you can have a picture of them, or you could bring the original. It doesn't really matter. They're probably not going to ask you for them anyway. For those of you that take medication, please bring an extra week of medication, because we just never know. And we want, in case you're held up or the flights or you get sick or anything, it's always a good idea post-COVID to bring an extra week of medication. And notify your cell phone carrier that you're going to be in Alaska and Canada, and you may want to find out about getting a cruise ship plan or an international plan. If you have AT&T, for $10 a day, you can call anyone, anywhere, and if you don't call anyone, you don't get charged the $10. So that's what I have. I want to talk a little bit about dining. Most of the group has either early seating, select dining, or aqua class. So for those of you that haven't sailed with Celebrity before, the way it works is, if you have early dining, you're going to be seated at the same table every night for dinner. We can rotate who sits with each other because we've all prepaid our gratuities. So if any of you were traveling with people that you would like to be seated with, by tomorrow, end of day, please send me an email with who that is, and I will do my best to accommodate your dining to be with each other, okay? For those of you that have select dining, that's the open dining, and you can either make your reservations on board or in advance. And for those of you that like to have everything set, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't see the time that you want available, don't worry about it. You can do it on board. And if you'd like to make some new friends or dine with some old friends, you know, meet up in advance and say, hey, I'm having dinner tonight at 7. Would you like to join me? For those of you that are traveling solo and you'd like to dine with other companions, we'll hand out a list of those that have select dining so that you can maybe ask if you can join someone, or maybe you'll be invited because there's a lot of really nice people in this group, and I'm sure you'd like to make some new friends. We've made some wonderful friends that are really like family. And I'm so happy to see so many that have come back year after year, and it's a great time. I promise you'll make new friends. All right, so for those of you that have Aqua Class, you're going to be dining in Blue Restaurant for breakfast and for dinner, and that is open seating. So same thing, if you want to dine with your friends that you know are going to be in Blue, meet up in advance and try to coordinate going at the same time. We always try to have those that are dining in Blue in the same vicinity of the dining room, but it can't be guaranteed, of course, in advance. So now that we've talked about that, I just want to add one more thing about the dining. For those of you that would like to dine in a specialty restaurant for 1 or more nights, it is less expensive to purchase that in advance on the Celebrity Cruise Planner. So you can go in now and do that. The reservations, if you do a package, are going to be done on board. For those of you that want to know what to pack, this is really important. So this is, I think, my 7th time in Alaska, and it's different every time. But what I would recommend is layers. So short and long sleeve shirts, jeans, long pants, and shorts. Yes, you will be probably able to wear shorts with this global warming in Alaska. I did last year. A light rain jacket. You could even get the kind from the dollar store. Just pack it, because in Alaska, sometimes it rains for 5 minutes and then it stops, but you don't want it to stop you from doing anything you want to do. So I always like to bring polar fleece. That could be under a jacket or over a jacket, but it keeps you warm and it's not real bulky. If you're doing a tour where you're going to be going on a glacier or an excursion that includes glaciers, bring a heavy coat. It can be really cold. Hats and gloves and comfortable shoes and sneakers are also recommended. Don't forget a bathing suit, because you'll be able to use the spa or the pool on board, and that's always a fun time. The dining is casual on board, so as far as clothes, it's really what I like to say, smart casual. For the 2 nights that are what they call evening chic, you can get away with a pantsuit, a nice pair of slacks, a blouse, a cocktail dress. In Alaska, they tend to dress down more than other itineraries. So the gentleman can bring a sport jacket. It's not required, but it is recommended. So so that handles what to bring. When you register for your cruise, you're going to be given a boarding time. And please do your best to adhere to that, so it's a smooth boarding process. I recommend taking a change of clothes and your medications in a carry-on bag when you board, because sometimes you don't get your luggage until after you leave for dinner. So it's always nice if you want to take a change of clothes and your medications in case you don't have your luggage that first day. So that is mostly all I want to say. I want you to look up here and see my Claire Murray up here, this beautiful young lady. She's coming along with me. Claire is our new agency administrator, and she is awesome. And I know you're all going to enjoy meeting her, and she's going to be helping with everything as well. So that's all I have to say right now. Should we open it for questions, Carrie and Fontel?
Yes, please. I'm finding Claire. I found her.
Do we have
Give
a
us one
question
second.
monitor?
There she
There's
is.
Claire.
We,
Ah, it's nice to meet you.
And it's Claire's first real cruise as an adult.
Yay.
Yes, yes. So, all right, does anyone have a question for me?
yes.
I do.
Okay, who do we have?
I'm Jean.
Yes. Hi,
Hi,
I
Jean.
lost you. Oh, I
Oh,
really lost you. Are you there?
Yes.
I'm here.
Okay. So
Okay.
my question is, do we need a real passport or can we take our passport card since we're going into Canada?
Do you have a real passport?
Yes.
Take it.
And the passport card for Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, you can, I recommend the real passport.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Ken has a question.
Hello.
Well,
Yes,
Okay, well, you're not pointing it at me, so
I'm
never
having a
mind.
problem. Anyway,
Yes,
go ahead.
you are. Okay, so what is the policy about bringing alcohol aboard?
you're allowed to bring, 1 bottle per person. You, yeah, so you know, you do have the beverage package, right?
Yeah.
But if
But
there's
one
special
bottle of
wines.
what?
I'm sorry,
One bottle of what?
wine or wine,
Wine.
or,
Thank
yeah, wine,
Can't be Scotch.
no.
Okay.
Okay,
There you go.
thank you.
That
Mara,
was our
there's
questions.
there's a question from Darcy. She's asking, she's trying to find what her dining plan is, and she wants to know where it is on her reservation.
What's her last name?
I think I just
Trixie.
found it. I just found it. It
Oh,
says
okay, okay,
CEL Select.
select, so that's the open
Yeah.
dining.
Okay, thank you. I
You're
was like
welcome.
trying to like scroll through things as you're talking. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Mara, this is Shelley.
Hi, Shelley, I need to talk to you tomorrow, please call me.
Am I in trouble?
No, it's a good thing, it's about your excursion. Call me tomorrow, okay?
Okay, I'll try because I have to work tomorrow and then I
That's
have
okay,
something else
whenever, this week,
going on.
whenever.
All
Yeah,
right, you know that me and the computer don't get along real well. Okay, I
Wait a
might have some problems getting on the celebrity thing. Can somebody walk me through it?
I'll send you the phone number to call to register if you have a problem registering.
All right, and what time would you like me to call you?
Just call me anytime. If
Can I call
get
you
my
like after?
voicemail, leave a message, I'll call you back.
All right, can I call you after 4? Because that's about,
Sure.
okay, that's all I needed to know for right now. Thank you.
Question here. Can you walk through the registration again, just getting on? We got the email, it says register. And you-
Yeah, so you go to celebrity.com
Okay.
and you, if you don't have an account, then you create an account. I
Okay.
believe it says already booked or online check-in,
Okay.
and it's just celebrity.com.
Mara, I just
Yes.
downloaded their app today. And it looks like I can register through that too. Is that correct?
You really shouldn't, you really should
Okay.
not, you really don't need the app until you go. It's
Okay,
much easier to register on a computer or a device than it is on a phone.
Mhm.
okay.
Mara.
Yes.
Mara, this is Donna Lang.
Hi, Donna.
I was just looking, I clicked to start the registration and it says that at the time I'm registering, I should be filling in my passport information and such.
Yes.
We're actually away on vacation right now and my passport's at home, so I'm assuming so I should just wait to check in until I get back to my house.
Yes, you can actually do it up until 3 days prior, but I don't recommend waiting that long. Because
Okay,
then
no,
you'll
we'll
get
be
like
home.
last to board.
We'll be home on Saturday, so basically, okay,
Yeah,
so,
wait till then.
okay, great. All right, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Mara.
Yeah,
As far as checking in and choosing a check-in time, are we leaving the hotel as a group? Because
Terry?
I've got a 10:30 check-in time. If we're not there, we're gonna leave the hotel altogether, correct?
Harry, you want to answer that? Or Fontel?
They're muted.
Oh, they're muted.
Yep, the bus leaves at 10:30, so 10.
Okay.
10, so we're gonna be there at 11. So
You're gonna leave
there
it
are some of you who got really an amazing early check-in, and they'll check you in when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
we're
Mara,
on
this
the
is-
bus. There's like 50 of us on the bus, so.
Mara, this is Margaret Wells. I can't show my picture. I don't know what I did wrong, but I need
Oh,
you to
that's
check
okay.
what my dining plan is.
Margaret Wells.
Yeah,
okay.
WELLS with Katie
Yeah.
Hall, Catherine Hall.
You have select.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mira, would you please tell everybody what the beverage package is?
Yeah, so the classic beverage package is wine, beer, soda, spirits, coffee and teas from the coffee bar, bottled water. This is the classic beverage package. It's all included up to like $12 a drink for alcohol. So if you wanted to get something that was like a whiskey, that was like a $20 glass of whiskey, you would pay the difference if it was over that amount. So for those of you that are in suites, you have the premium beverage package. That goes up to the highest level. That gives you the premium bottled water and so forth. But and if any of you are like, drinkers that really drink the top shelf stuff all the time, you can pay in advance to upgrade your package to the premium package, and that can be done on the cruise planner. Oh, and also, and you also all have the prepaid gratuities, and you also have the basic Wi-Fi. In Alaska, the Wi-Fi isn't always so great because of the glaciers. So you may want, if you need to have access 24/7 and it can't be interrupted, you'll want to consider upgrading to the premium package. And that can all be done on the cruise planner. And yeah.
All right.
Any other questions for Mara?
Okay. Mira, thank you so
Okay.
much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. And if anybody, has any questions after this and they want to call me tomorrow or send me an email, I'm happy to help. And Claire or I will get back to you as soon as we can.
All right. Thank you, Claire. for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Okay.
Thanks, Claire. We'll see you on board.
All right, Mara. Thank you again.
I'm staying. I want to hear Barry.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh, pressure's on.
I
Here
get
we
to
go,
look at
Mara.
him. I got to look at him.
All righty. So now,
I'm just going to say a couple things
Okay,
before we
okay.
introduce Michelle. We have really planned your time on the ship. We have all of this to do.
we do have itineraries for you.
We're going to send you out an itinerary, and we really start at the crack of dawn and we really end, like at midnight, right, Francine? And so for those of you who really like to be busy and like that, we've planned you. We've got you. And for those of you that are going, oy vey, this is too much, you can come and go as you please. So we have a schedule. You'll have the times of when the classes are, when our maybe special events on the ship is happening. And that way you'll know where to go. So we hope you join us for everything. But we especially want you to join us on Wednesday evening when we're having a game night, because it's a little profitable for you, maybe. It's quite fun.
And everyone is invited for game night.
Yeah, everybody
So,
is invited.
companions, husbands, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody come.
So just know before the cruise, you'll get an email from us with the whole itinerary so you can see how busy you're going to be and what the classes are. For those of you who haven't traveled with us before, we do have at the crack of dawn what we call an eye opener. And they're short little classes. They're
Little workshop.
Little technique classes. You go up to the cafeteria in the back, get your coffee, get your muffin. Actually, it's before they're out, I think. And you have a class with Michelle, and we're going to introduce Michelle to you. You have your classes during the day when we're at sea. And then in the evening, we have what we call nightcaps for all those night owls. That's going to be with Barry. But let me find Michelle in here because we want you to say hi to her.
Michelle,
Oh, there
can you
you
hear
are.
us?
There you are.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Hey.
Hey,
Yes.
Hey, Michelle.
This is
hi,
Michelle-
everybody.
This is
Hey,
Michelle
Barry.
Mogi, who used to live here in Everett and used to work in the store, and she's taught classes. She's also cruised with us. She had the nerve, her husband did, to move her to North Carolina,
Yeah.
but she still works with me. She does my website, and she's an amazing teacher. So she's going to be in charge of your eye openers. And so we just wanted you to meet her. Michelle, we will put in the notes what you're suggesting they bring with you, but you might want to just go over that quickly. So,
Okay,
here's Michelle.
Hi, everybody. So you'll just want to make sure you have some US 8 circulars, just 16-inch circulars is fine. And we're going to be providing some worsted weight yarn for everybody. So you'll be covered there. And we'll have it in a couple different colors because sometimes we'll be working with 2 colors. And there will be one day that I'll ask you to make a swatch, 2 swatches ahead of time. But it's just going to be a small one. Just needs to be like 20 stitches and 3 inches. And yeah, so we'll got 3 different things that we'll cover on 3 different days, and lots of fun stuff.
It is fun. When we started this on our first cruise, we thought, well, we'll have a couple people come join us because it's early in the morning and you're on a cruise, right? And no, I mean, we can fill the place, and at night too. So it's great fun. Michelle, thank you. We're going
Thanks for joining us, Michelle. All right.
You're welcome.
Michelle, thank
She
you.
will also be here in Everett with us for the pre-cruise as well. So, okay.
All right, Bear, thanks for hanging in there.
Thank you, Barry, for
Does
waiting.
anybody have any questions before I turn this over to Barry?
Were you able to get a list together for the people flying into Seattle?
So I only have a few people on here.
Okay.
And I will provide that list. I mean, really, there's only very few people on here. And these are people who wanted to maybe join someone to come from the airport to the hotel. So if you provide me your name and the time you're coming in, I can put this on a list and send it out to everybody so that you can maybe meet up. But chances are you're in a taxi or an Uber coming out to Everett. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it true that we are only in Victoria in the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's only in the evening. And so one of the most fabulous things to do is to go to Butchart Gardens at nighttime because it's all up and it's quite magical. So there's
Dinner there is very good as well.
dinners there. You can go over up to the Fairmont or the Empress and have dinner there, but you'd want to make reservations. There is a tour to Butchart Gardens, or you can, Uber over there, but it's lovely, 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 lovely. And of course, the town is right there. So great shopping.
Can I add one thing?
Yep.
Okay, I forgot to add about the excursions. If anyone's pre-booked their excursions, please make sure that you bring your tickets with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
All right, Barry.
We're turning it over to you.
I'm gone.
All right, Mr. Klein. There you go, Barry. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Well, it's going to be a great trip. I know you've heard that a lot. Many of you know me and you've traveled with us before. And the reason for doing this is that there's a lot of us. For the first time in probably all of our knitting cruises, we've got probably close to 70 knitters. That's a lot. And so we want to make sure that we've got ideas, yarn. We want to make sure that you get everything that you've expected. So for those of you that have traveled with us, we're there. We're going to have a classroom that's dedicated to us. It's ours full time. We will have certain hours that we're there. We ask you to be there with us when we're there. Even though it is our classroom, it is our responsibility to make sure that that room stays safe and that you stay safe. So just a little ahead notice that please don't go into the classroom if we're not there, if it's not our class hours. We'll remind you of that, but for ship safety and for ours, we're asking everyone just to kind of follow those rules. And this is a process that goes on. A lot of the things that are designed, some of them have been done for a couple of weeks, some of them for a couple months. We are going to show you 2 classes. We've never done this before. We have hemmed and hawed. Is it worth it? Do we want to do it? Do we want to give away our secrets? You know, don't look. But with so many of us, there are some really special ideas. It's all about the concept. We're not spending so much time about really intricate stitch patterns, but it's about how to take a stitch, how to keep it simple, how to make it work for you. And in order to do that, I want to give you a sneak peek of what our first classes are going to be. And that way, there is stuff already up on the website. Michelle has done that. It's on greatyarns.com. You can go there. If you love the project and you want to make sure that you get the color you want, the best thing you can do for yourself and for us is to make sure that you commit to it before we get on the ship. Again, 65 knitters. And if everyone decides that they love a class, which we hope and pray that you do, we can't possibly have enough yarn for everybody. We could have snippets and you could get started. So we're doing this for you again, and as much for us. I will be there for the pre-cruise starting on Thursday. I can help you with stuff there. So you've got us. You can also reach out to Carrie and Fontel. Most of you know how to reach me, but it's Barry@trendsetteryarns.com. If you have questions about anything before, I answer every email. All right. You won't be ignored if you don't get an answer. Maybe it went to my spam filter. So reach out to Carrie and Fontel, but we talk to each other almost every day. So I'm going to jump in. And one of our first classes, people ask me all the time, what makes traveling with you guys different than traveling with other companies, other designers, other teachers? And the one thing I can say is that one of the things I always teach is called fit. Okay, you heard Laura talk about it. How do we make sure that something fits our body? I've been working with a couple of you throughout the last couple of months and weeks on things, and I keep getting told certain things don't fit. Well, we write generic patterns, okay? We have a set of numbers, but I could physically measure each of you. You may have the same bust measurement, but the rest of the measurements aren't going to fit. And so this class is dedicated to fit. It uses one of our brand new yarns. It's called Conseil. It's a really beautiful tweed. So it's got an alpaca base. And silk, and I'll show it to you under a closer screen as well. But it's all different fun luxury fibers. And then for the collar, we've mixed a brushed alpaca and a merino. So they're dyed to match each other, but they're worked in contrasting patterns. And this involves fit. It's A-line. You can see the structure of it. The front is completely straight with a little bit of neck shaping. But where do we want the neck shaping to start? How do we want this to close? Do we want it to close? It's designed so that it stays perfectly open, but what length do you need? So we're going to be starting here. We are going to take a full set of body measurements, so be prepared. All right. You're going to need a pair of straight knitting needles. Please bring them. We won't have them for you, not enough for everybody. You're going to measure somebody else, or somebody's going to measure you. You cannot measure yourself. You've been forewarned. If you go to measure yourself, you lean over. It changes all of the measurements. And it's really important to have these. All right. So it will be one of the first things that we do. And if you choose to do the class, there's gorgeous colors. If this isn't your thing and you just want accessories, please come to class because you get the instructions anyways. So I'm going to switch cameras real quickly.
Barry, it's Shelley. Can you tell us, and Katie Hall is asking the same question, what size straight needles?
It won't matter because it's just as a marker. It's going under your arms and over your ears. It's to help us measure.
Oh, okay.
So the size for the straight needles doesn't make a difference at all.
Okay.
Okay, they don't even have to
Thank
match.
you.
All right.
We use chopsticks, Barry?
You can use.
They're not long enough, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, just don't use little short stubby chopsticks, but.
Barry, if you cover that light, yeah, because it's too bright. There you go. You can see the tweed.
Yep. So it's got a beautiful base to it, a little bit of a brush, and then it's got flecks of color. And there's lots and lots of colors to pick from. So there's an olive, there's a yummy gold that right now looks,
Yeah, you've just got to cover that light.
yeah, it's hard because we need the light for one thing, but not for something else. Sorry about that, kids, but, and there's a purple. Now you can see all the flecks of colors that are in there. So that's the base. This is Kinsale. And then we're using a yarn called Seta Surrey, and it's mixed with a wool and cotton, and they're blended together so that we match our gauge.
So let me tell you a little bit about Kinsale, because it's 40% wool, it's 20 silk, 12 baby alpaca, and 28 polyamide, which are the little hoo-has. And the hand on this is so soft. So I'm rubbing my hand over the skein I have now, and it is really soft, because you might think a wool tweed, you know, it can have a little bit of a scratch to it. This is luxurious. Luxurious.
So this might give you a little bit closer
There you go.
look at the texture and little colors. So some have more tweeds and more, you know, different colors in them. The red is a more subtle tweed to it, but it's about depth of armhole. Where do we want the shaping to be? How do we want the collar? So we're really going to look at this about from the perspective of how do I need to do this to make it work for my body? All right. And these numbers are going to be good for any other projects that you do with us and in the future.
Quick question.
Please.
Can that yarn be used in Southern California or not? Is it a little too heavy?
Oh, no, it can be used here for sure.
Yeah.
It's not that thick. Your stitch gauge is about 4 stitches to the inch on a 9 or a 10 needle, but it doesn't weigh anything.
Okay.
Okay. Super, super light, great movement to it. So yes, it can be used here for sure.
Yeah, is that a blue red or an orange red?
No, it's a blue red for sure. Maybe my lights are making it more orangey, but it's like a wine, a light wine.
Oh, great.
We all can understand what light wine is, right? We've all consumed a little bit of that somewhere along the way.
So
Barry,
the
do
late
you want us to order this ahead of time if we want to do that?
Yes, I would love it. I know that Carrie and Fontel would love it as well. That way we don't have to send it to you, but we can make sure that it's at the store and you can pick it up if you're coming for the pre-cruise. If you're not, then when we get on the ship, we already have it. It's dedicated to you, and you don't have to scramble through the tables of yarn with everybody else that wasn't here tonight or chose not to do this in advance.
Is there any way you're finding out the different colors beforehand?
Yes. So on the website, on greatyarns.com, Fontel has it all set up. So there are pages on there of everything that I'm showing you tonight. There's 2 projects, and it's every color combination. And you don't have to worry about crazy lights. They've all been color checked. You click on it, it's perfect. And it's a really beautiful flyer. You can even download it.
Barry, let me just mention where to go on the website. So if you go to the website, greatyarns.com, and up at on the homepage, it will say presentations. Click on presentations, and right underneath that, it says Trendsetter July 2023. Click on that, and it will bring up this project and another project and all of the prices and all of the colors. And I also just want to mention, we are going to have color cards with us. We are going to have lots of special order forms. So if you swatch something on the ship and we have 10 skeins and you need 12, we will send all 12 of them to you. So don't worry about that. We will, I mean, we're all prepared to do those special orders and get things sent to you as well.
I can also access, while we're on the ship, Trendsetter's website. So I know what our dye lots are and how much we have. So if we only have 1 or 2 skeins, but you want to get started, we can go ahead and make that work for you as well. So Carrie's giving you a better close-up of the tweed, the Kinsale.
The lace going around the collar on that cardigan, on that jacket, is done holding 2 strands together, which is Seta Surrey, which is alpaca. It's a very thin, like carry-along yarn, which is alpaca and silk.
Very sorry to interrupt, but it's not work double. It's 1 strand of Wisdom and 1 strand of Seta Surrey together.
Yeah, I wasn't done. When I met two strands, it was one of each, so I hadn't gotten to the wisdom, but anyway, that's what it is. And wisdom is half wool and half cotton. So this is just really soft and it's beautiful. We're gonna have a store on the ship, and we are gonna have a lot of yarn. It's just, you know, we can only have so much. And I will tell you that there's more than one item out of this yarn. We have a couple of jackets and accessories. So we love this yarn. All right, Barry, I'm going back to you.
All right.
Barry, can I ask one more question, please?
Sure.
You guys had said that you were going to send something out like the week before the cruise. Personally, I'm not going to be home the week before. I'm going to be in Detroit, and I'm flying out of Detroit to Seattle, and I'm not going to have my laptop with me. Is there any way it could come before that?
Yeah, if you just drop Carrie a note, or just send a note to Fontel at the store and let her know that you would like the information earlier. And we'll figure out what we're putting together and see if we can't get it to you in advance.
Thank you.
No problem. Yep.
All right. So many of you know that Carrie travels with me quite a bit. Every time I go to Italy, which is twice a year, sometimes Fontel goes with us and we're a threesome. Sometimes it's just Carrie and I. But one of the things that we love to do is when we go and look at new yarns, we come back at the end of our day and we sit on the bed. We've got potato chips and snacks, you know, there's always food, and we swatch and we play. And then no matter where we are, I'm always taking yarn. And so on one of our trips, it was a vacation that all of us were on together. And in my stash, a brand new yarn. We have a new yarn called Gemini, and it is, I can only say it this way, to die for. It is pure luxury. People have asked us all the time, what can we do to save our planet? What can we do to help? And the company we work with is doing recycled cashmere. So you're asking, okay, is it really cashmere if it's recycled? The answer is yes. So when they do production knitwear, they do sheets, long layers, and they layer the sheets back and forth. They put a template on top, which is the outline of the piece of the garment, and they use a jigsaw and they cut around it. Well, once those pieces are done, there's all the scraps, all the extra. And in the past, they used to take it and throw it away. Well, I'm sorry, throwing away cashmere, I would just take those pieces and want to rub them until they turned to felt, but it wasn't an option. So what they're doing now is they're taking all the scraps, they're organizing them by color. They shred them, and it becomes 60% recycled and 40% brand new fiber. And they blend them and then they dye them. And so what you're getting is there will be a whole range of solids, but for this class, we're using Gemini tweed. And so it is multicolored. It's individual plies that are then twisted around each other. So Carrie's got a different color. She's got the yellow, the gray, and some of them are more subtle and some of them are really, really bright. But they are 100% cashmere. Amazing yardage, really, really sexy to feel. And on this trip, Carrie was looking through my stash. She was working on a project and I had this with me. I had no idea what I was going to do. So I handed her the yarn and I didn't get it back, but I got a finished piece. So I think that's a fair trade. Give Carrie yarn, Barry gets a finished piece. I don't think it gets to stay with me, but I think it's a pretty fair trade. So what we're doing here is a really neat dropped slip stitch pattern. And it's a very creative way of doing things. It is triangular in shape, but it's not a perfect triangle. It starts at a point and it moves in different directions, but you're working two different yarns. So it is Gemini, which is the cashmere part, and it's mixed with Cheerleader. And Cheerleader is a brushed yarn. It's inside of a cage. It is baby alpaca, and there is a little baby sequin. And every once in a while, the light, you can see the light catches. It's a little baby sparkle. There you go. The sequin is inside of a cage so that you don't have to worry about the sequin touching your skin. The cage surrounds it and all the fibers are put right inside. So it is brushed. It looks like mohair. It is absolutely not mohair. There's not one touch of mohair in it. And what we've done is we've put gorgeous color combinations together. And this is just 4, and I'll try and put it under the other camera in a second. But in this case, it's worked. You're working a few stitches, you work a couple of rows, and we're going to play with how do you maneuver the stitches to create a circle in a different way. So this is the triangular version of it. If 1 is good, 2 is more. So in this case, Carrie put cheerleader as the center part, and the Gemini, the cashmere, is the surrounding. So it's the cage around the bubble. And I decided to try it myself and play with the pattern, but mine is reversed. So I have Gemini as my bubble and cheerleader as the frame. And it just gives you more of a tweed. One's not better than the other. It just depends on the look that you want. And there's a joke, and you'll get it when you see us, but every time I knit something, I say the word diagonal and Carrie goes crazy because it's all I ever do. I love something that looks like it's on the diagonal, but it's really a straight piece, and it's just maneuvering your stitches. So of course, what does Barry have to do? Play with this stitch pattern on the diagonal.
Here, show them the edge because you're going to show them how to do an I-cord bind off, which is kind of fun if you haven't done it before, and it leaves a really nice edge. We also are going to show you how to do a 2-color cast on, which is great fun. You might have to just hold it up differently.
There you go.
You can kind of see that. You can kind of see it, but anyway, if you haven't done an I-cord before, it's super easy and it's a great thing to learn. It leaves a really nice finished edge.
It gives you a really nice closed circular edge, so it keeps it very, very clean.
And the 2-color makes it far more interesting than just an I-cord.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Okay.
Very
get back to the diagonal.
Here's the diagonal, finished last night. So the same technique. I did it again with the cashmere as the under yarn and the cheerleader as the outside, but all of the lines now go diagonal. They're on an angle, and it's with increases and decreases. It's got that same really beautiful edge that we're going to talk about and we're going to do. And it's super long. And this one takes 2 skeins of each yarn. So we're going to, in every class, you're going to have options. We're going to show you the idea. We're going to talk about the technique. In some cases, it's a scarf, but you can do a wrap, you can do a pullover, you can do a cardigan. And that's going to happen with most everything. We're going to have lots of options. What size needles are used for the jacket? A 9 and a 10. Okay, and you're going to want to make sure, you're not going to get to it on the ship for sure, but the collar, the entire piece is picked up. So it's not a separate piece sewn on, you're going to pick it up. So when you get to do the collar, which is on the 10, you're going to want to make sure that you've got a good length needle, or you're going to be cramming your stitches on there. All right, I'm just going to switch cameras one more time, see if we can get any better picture out of this.
That's better.
So you can see the little specks of sequins, you can see the tweed, and this is the plum combination. That's the teal that I worked my sample in. This is a close-up of Carrie's. So it's a beautiful camel, taupe, and gray. And the cheerleader is a sandy beige. And there's like 8 or 10 different color combinations. And this is a close-up of what Gemini looks like. So this is the pure cashmere.
I'm going to just say a little bit. This yarn has 165 yards in the skein. It's 100% cashmere. and normally worked on like a 7 needle, just to give you an idea. This is really a beautiful yarn. It will make great cardigans, jackets, you know, besides the accessories, but it's brand new. We are waiting for this to come in. When Barry and I went to Italy, we made them come, we had a meeting with them and we just made them give us some of the yarn that we have now, but the rest of it is coming in August 1st. So you are the first people to get your hands on it, and we can't wait. We just can't wait. So.
All right, that's the sneak peek. That's all I'm getting to show you under penalty of death. There are some other things around here, but I've been sworn, shh, don't show it. But we will have lots to show you. As everyone has said so far, this really is a family. Some of you are coming with us for the first time. A friend of mine is on here. Her name is Beth. So I'm sorry, Beth, if I'm poking you out to everybody, but we've been friends for 45 years, something around that, maybe close to 50. Carrie and I are friends for that long as well. It really is family. And we're going to knit, we're going to laugh, maybe cry, but we're going to have a really good time. And I am with you the entire way. So you won't see me in the morning for the early birds, but for the rest of it, I'm there. All right. Anything you need, please reach out. We are doing this together. And I appreciate that you're coming to do this with us. You're going to have a blast. And we're going to talk about some future cruises as we go on this journey. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I'm going to see you in about a month.
Okay.
Is there any questions?
Yeah. Anybody and everybody.
Is there any projects that will be using a 7 or below?
Yes, the shawl we just showed you is done on a 7 or a 6.
Right. On my stuff, probably there's one yarn, one project that you might need a 6 or a 5, but there'll be nothing lower than that for sure. And Fontel's bringing needles with her as well. So if for some reason you've got yarn on a project or project on a needle and you need another needle, I think we can get one for you.
Absolutely.
I have a quick question. Am I correct in saying that it's of these 2 projects, if we want to do one of those, we should try to order the color beforehand?
It's in your best interest to do it. That way you're sure that you get it. Otherwise, when you get on the ship, it really is like a shark feed. Everybody dives for the table. We have a whip and a chair to hold you back, but there is only so much yarn that we can bring with us. And we're doing about 7 or 8 different projects in a week. So again, there's only so much yarn. And if there's certain colors that you want and you're fond of a project, the best thing you can do is make sure that you get it before we sail.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jean?
How far do you expect us to get on, if you're talking 7 or 8 projects in a week, are we just going to knit a little bit of each one of them, or?
Well, the nightcaps, which I'm including in a project, is just about technique. It's just stitches. Okay. We're going to talk about how to do them. We do have projects, and if you want to do them, you'll know how to do the technique. You get to take it home.
Okay.
But for the bigger projects, which there's 3, and they're all-day classes, those you're going to get far enough on. And we're starting with the fit class so that you can get your swatch, we can get your body measurements, you can get part of a piece done. And yeah, you won't get far enough for everything, but you'll definitely get into each of them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Barry, I have another question. Straight needles, circular needles, what, do you want us to bring everything?
No.
And
if you prefer straight needles, then bring straight needles. I don't know that we're going to be bringing any of them on the ship. If you're doing fit, which I hope you will, even if you don't do the project, please take fit part of it. You will need 1 pair of straight needles and a really good tape measure between a pair of you. All right. So we don't need 65 pairs of straight needles. We need 33 pairs of straight needles because you're going to work in a team. As far as your knitting is concerned, bring whatever you like to use. I don't have a preference one way or the other.
Okay. Because mine is straight needles, and I know that's what you like, but
it is. But I'm converting.
Really?
No options. Yeah. It's being recorded, right? I didn't say that. Is there another project with the same yarn as the jacket? How much yarn should I buy? There is another project. It's one of the nightcaps. And I don't know off the top of my head how much yarn, but you probably don't want to do it in the same color, because it's not something that you're going to want to put together. So don't worry about that part. And I will have extra yarn here. So if you decide you want to do it in the same color, but we don't have enough on the ship, you'll have enough to get started, and we'll send you the rest of it. So we're not going to let you down. Fontel, your mic's off.
Yeah, Barry, isn't there also there is a cardigan that's in the Kinsale, that's in the black tweed with the gomitolo around the waist?
It's not with a gomitolo, but yes, there is. There's a couple projects out of each of the
Which is
yarn.
beautiful.
So we're going to have like 40 garments on the ship and a bunch of accessories, probably 30 accessories and 40 garments. There's a lot to see and a lot to pick from.
Like
So
a big
you're not going to be struck with just what it is that I chose or the three of us chose to teach us classes. Certainly, we're going to help you through whatever you need. All good still? I see 7 comments or 7 things in chat. Let's see.
If you need to communicate via email, you can email the store, so sales@greatyarns.com, or you can email me, Carrie.
Or me.
AdamsCarrie@AOL.com. So you can email any of us.
Yeah.
And we'll all answer you. You can email all of us.
Hopefully with the same answer.
And you'll get it. Yeah, but we're here to help you out. Will we send out an email on how to order the yarn again?
Yeah, we'll put something together and make sure. We'll send you a link to the website. I'll work with Fontel on that in the next day or so. We'll send, once we know that the video is up and accessible, we'll send you a link to all of that and a link to the kits in case you haven't gotten there. But for sure, we'll follow up with you.
We will send out a general supply list. Yeah.
Michelle, you heard that, right?
I'm writing down notes as we go.
He hasn't tapped out yet.
It's always a good sign, right?
How long did the straights need to be? Just not double pointed. So it can be an 8-inch, a 10-inch, a 12-inch, but anything but double points will be fine, or toothpicks.
Marianne, if you pre-order, yes, we will take it on the ship for you, or you're at the pre-cruise. We'll give it to you then. We can give it to you then. So either way. Where in North Carolina is Michelle living? Michelle.
Newport. I am in Newport, which is on the coast, kind of the southern Outer Banks.
All right, everybody, if you have any questions after this is over, like in the next few days or the next week or whatever, just let us know. We're happy to answer any questions. I will be sending out an email with your itinerary, which is kind of fun to read. It's like reading a menu at a restaurant. It's fun. So there are a lot of things for you to do, and you can choose what you'd like to do.
Yeah, we've got a lot of wonderful things planned for you, and it's all very organized.
If you choose spa and eating and the pool boy, okay. We have knitting for you if you'd like to do that. All right. Yeah.
Any other questions? Then I'm going to say thank you so much for taking time out, some of you in your evenings.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We do really look forward to having you join us. It's going to be a very wonderful experience. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye now.